Welcome to another Warhammer Champions video. One of many more, I hope. Hopefully, this will be a long series. So this one I'm gonna look at the order deck from the campaign starter. I mean, I would say it's a really good one, and as a product, the campaign decks are feeling like really nice value for like the second market now. I think that like you should be able to find one around $5 or €5 or £5, whatever you're from. I mean, and that's totally value. Like for the thing you get if you're looking into playing this game, I would say that's a nice amount of content for that price, easily. So in this one, we played one night, all the decks against each other in a unscientific matter. But I would say this one was the strongest. I mean, control-y deck that makes you feel you feel in control, while others are like you're looking for, trying to understand how you're supposed to play them, and that takes time. While this one is kind of straightforward, not that you have to not play well, but you kind of understand it's trying to negate playing, trying to heal, trying to rotate a bit, so you get kind of what order is about in the first wave. And just to have 3 champions with some kind of abilities, that's nice. Mostly have 2, like 2 cool ones, 2 generic ones. So this one has 3 at least that stuff. You have the healing guy that gets you into the mindset of healing and rotate cards as like a positive effect of that. You have the poster boy of whole Age of Sigmar, this first like start wave, both in miniature wise and in the card one, and also on the poster boy here. And like play a cool cards here, or you're really annoying one, so trying to play this out against your opponent's best hero and play your negate them playing cards here. And if they remove them, fine, but they take 3 damage. So like this is your key annoying card, I would say. And then a light version of this one where like, well, you can move them forward and back, or forward. So damage ones, you can go with Star Drakes and then move 1 more and get you 4 damage or 5 damage. I mean, kind of cool. Seems legit. As gone for blessings. And as you play blessings in Warhammer, you play them face down and they randomized, so you don't really know where they are. And based on that, I would say Stormforge, like when a highlight Stormcast unit leaves, draw a card, seems like generically always good card, I would say. I mean, of course not in the last turns, but then you know what it is, then you don't really care, or you do care about that activation. 6 damage to your opponent, gain 2 health, that's great. 4 damage to your opponent, and increases by 5 if the highlight champion is disengaged. I mean, yes, 9 is a much more than 6, but not getting the health as a controller one, and not being able to understand if it's disengaged or not, if it's not the only last one. So it's a bit of a like hit or miss, but the hit is great. So I'm not sure if that one is super played or were played. And then gain health as a general, kind of good. But I would say these 2 feel to me like a bit more, yeah, this one is probably better in a like just straight, I don't know what I'm getting with blessings. These 2 seems to be always good. Please feel free to correct me on this if I understand like the usage of the cards. But as if I would like look to add cards, I would look for 2 more blessings other than these ones, and keep these basically if I would add boosters. But now I don't really know all about the cards, so I can't really say which card I would switch them with or to. But on these occasions, these 2 have felt really good. Of course, it's nice to get like a lot of health, but might not be the one you need in that particular moment. Cool blessings though, I like them. And also like a really nice, the foundation of the deck is strong, I would say. And then look at the nice cards. You have your, let's do like this, your Strike Force Liberator, which is like, I mean, yeah, it's good if you get it early. So I don't think this one makes the cut if you want to build on it for a long time. This one is the craziest evil card ever. So you play this one and your opponent, the champion like above it, can't deploy spells or abilities or play abilities. So like nullify playing. And that on Vandus, that if they remove this, which you want to be removed, then you can always take 3 damage, but that costs you 3 damage. Or next to this guy, who always can rotate it back and keep it lively, you will probably play 3 of these and be a real asshole. Or like, yeah. But that's also like what this order is about, is negating them playing. Amazing card, I would say. 3 damage and then increased if you disengage. That's nice if you can control it, 2 of those. The light raptor, the paladin protector, and then reduce damage and height units can't be removed. You keeping him in the middle, and then also keeping them from removing your raptor. So that's like one way of understanding how you like you working with yourself. And then I mean it's a cool card. Reduce damage and protecting. It's a protector. Yeah, makes sense. And a light you can't play cards card. I mean, if you in a starter deck, it's great to show up that you have more versions of the same card, basically, but less good, super good. I mean, makes sense. So it's a really defensive stack of cards. Then you have some damage cards. I mean, also really great to be able to work 3 several times. That's not bad. Or move the faster to the 3. So you're working with like understand that you can switch the corners. So felt really evil to be hit by 3 several times. Also felt really bad being negated to be the destroying cards for several times. Griff Chargers seems okay. I mean, yes, you can always find a champion that costs 7 or more, and then it's just a good generic card for 6 damage that does damage directly. Star Drake, cool card. Discard a card. When we played, card size or card hand wasn't a problem, so this was fine. In a vampire deck or like a death deck, discarding returning is a good thing. I'm not sure where discarding in order, how does fit with like overall card economics, but I mean star decks are cool. So I mean it's also uncommon, so it's not super bad in that sense. Cool guy. Highlighted units, can't rotate. I mean, not bad if you have evil cards and just building up on saving, drawing cards, stuff like that. Gives you a turn of like being nasty. Super cool. Reduce damage, righteousness. I mean, yeah, you nullify the whole last turn for a player. Like if you're playing against chaos with all the last stands or all the last corner stuff, and like, yep, I'm gonna negate 9 in the best of worlds. Or 6. So, and also 3 damage. So I mean, it's not bad at all. It's a great card, I would say. I mean, just being a common, I might be overacting on that. I think it's a great card, but it's like it does stuff directly. That's great. You have your healing as like to trigger the relictor, and your classic bolts and a mystic shield, and I mean reduce damage, just to work with that concept in a starter decks as like it's a kind of important like mechanic in all the decks. As the starter decks goes, it is great. Triumph Smash, good card. Felt it a lot when I was played against it, so in combination with this and also like backwards, getting smashed again, removed, yeah, it was not a fun experience. Some lightning bolts, some yeah, I mean shuffle 4 Stormcast back in, that kind of work with the Star Drake to get them back, but also like just refill your deck with the evil cards that you want to use again. Evil cards that will negate your play cards. And then some kind of random abilities, gaining your health to trigger this one, doing some generic damage. We worked somewhat with this one, and like when and timings and all those things, like switching champions. I mean, it's nice to have against Vandus, for example, if you want to switch your hero and be able to play your cards, for example, your Vampire Lord or stuff like that. But how does that function with like blessing and rotation? Say I have a place where I already fixed my blessing. Is this champion be able to rotate again if I move him here and restart it? Or like, how does that work? We didn't really find we didn't even look that deep for all those questions and all those answering, but it's something here I remember from playing a bit online that I used it sometimes for some decks, but in this situation it felt kind of unnecessary. Maybe it's better in a more controlled meta with like the proper decks. But yeah, cool card with a nice mechanic to actually move lanes, which add another new more, the rigged game gets unrigged. I mean, it's cool. And then classic Brutal Smash. And well, it's nice to have those. Well, how many cards do you have in your hand? Probably just a generic question that I have my Brutal Smash on hand. I mean, it's also nice to have these cards in the system that negates people going overboard with like card control and like just drawing cards and be able to answer everything. The fear of getting, 6 damage for free. It's kind of evil. It's good, but probably not gonna make it until like the end of the games. So as a starter deck, I would say it's a good deck. Gonna be interesting to see where we end up with adding boosters to them and like which cards get switched, which blessing gets moved out if you fill out with a lot more like nasty cards, like this is gonna be overpower. Where's the power level of like some boosters? And also like how does the gameplay feel when you have maybe more completed decks in the other ones? Does it seem as controlling and good, or does it lose fast when you have, well, more cards of higher value in the other decks? So yeah, gonna be a two-parter. The first one was strong impression. Let's revive it or come back to it after they've been modified a bit and see where we are. Like, let's say after 10 boosters added like to those ones, like all the order one, all the destruction ones, cards from those boosters into these ones, what happened? Or maybe a display, just where, let's go well, after a display, where are these decks as a foundation? Are they still here or have they disappeared? Or like Vandus is here, Lord Reliquary here, this one got lost on the way and you had like the other cards and like elf cards maybe. Yeah, but where will it go based on like, let's say a display. And then of course the same for all of them. And then we have a backseat on like the feeling of the cards. But as a starter deck, if you are a controlling person, it's great. You felt like you were in control of the game. 2 thumbs up, cool card, cool deck. Yeah, and until next video, have a nice time.